Okay, I'm going to get cracking with our first big finding of our Battle for Bihar poll. The India Today poll done for India Today by C Voter. Here is the first big finding. Who is your preferred choice for Chief Minister? Who do you want as Mukhyamantri? Kaun banega Mukhyamantri or the preferred choice? An interesting finding. 16% are saying Nitish Kumar, the incumbent, the 9-time Chief Minister. 36% are saying Tejashwi Yadav. So if this was a direct contest, you'd say advantage Tejashwi. But there are others too. Chirag Paswan at 9%. Samrat Chaudhary of the BJP, the Deputy Chief Minister at 8%. But look at this. Prashant Kishor, as per this poll, is at 23%. So that is a very, very sizable number. But remember, these are telephonic interviews in a state with a with an electorate of more than 7.4 crores, and of course the fact that you're doing a poll therefore with a limited sample size. But either way, Prashant Kishor cannot be ruled out. Let me therefore take that straight to you, Yashwant Deshmukh. Is that the big finding when a direct question is posed? Tejashwi number 1, Prashant Kishor number 2, Nitish Kumar number 3. Though if I add up Nitish, Samrat Chaudhary and Chirag Paswan, then the picture changes. Your first take.
Absolutely, Rajdeep. And by the way, this question has been part of our daily tracker that we have been tracking for more than a year now. And slow and steady, we have witnessed the graph of Prashant Kishor's number and getting traction up and up and up. What I am not sure, as he is a new party, new entrant, how much of distraction he will be able to convert into votes and how much he will be able to convert into seats. That's up in the air. Nobody can make a guess because in the first past the post system, it's impossible for any pollster to gauge the vote share of a new entrant because there is no electoral history. Having said that, as you see the graph on the screen, Rajdeep, we've been tracking this number and you see the numbers going up in that way. One interesting point which you said that if it is a bipolar, then it will be advantage Tejashwi, which is not actually the case. If it is a bipolar, because we asked this question and majority of the Prashant Kishor supporters are actually coming from the NDA background, NDA voting history. So if you ask this question as a bipolar, then Tejashwi Yadav's number actually go up by about 4%, around 40%. But rest of all actually gets culminated or actually get polarized for Nitish Kumar if you are given only two choice rather than asking this question verbatim and open-ended.
Okay, I'm going to go right round the table and get quick reactions for everyone to this first number that we've seen. First, starting with my co-anchors, Maria and Preeti. Maria, you first. What is your first big takeaway when you see these numbers? Are you surprised in any way?
Look, Tejashwi Yadav is popular, Rajdeep. I have interviewed him during his yatra. I traveled to Samastipur and was in that bus where he is traveling. So there is that enthusiasm or curiosity around him. But is Tejashwi Yadav being seen as the real challenger to Nitish Kumar the way he was in 2020 when there was a great degree of freshness in his entire campaign? Maybe not. And that is why I would say the announcement which has come yesterday of one job per household becomes important. But of course, it's a subject of discussion whether the arithmetic has been worked out or not.
Your first reaction, Preeti, to these numbers. You've interviewed Prashant Kishor.
You know, just look at the numbers, and Rajdeep, because Yashwant did touch on it earlier. Let's bring out the graph on how the graph of each of these political players has gone. Very interesting to note. Tejashwi usually has stuck. He began 6 months ago at a 40%, 40.6%. He's lost about 4.5%. That clearly has gone to Prashant Kishor. The person, at least in this graph, in terms of traction, one needs to watch out for and look at is a Prashant Kishor, where in February he started at a 14.9% in our tracker and has climbed all the way to 23.2%. But there's a caveat in all of this because clearly something that Yashwant will also confirm that Prashant Kishor might be tracking at this level, but is Jan Suraaj, his party, tracking at the same amount of consistency? Who he's taken from, Rajdeep? Nitish Kumar, Tejashwi, Samrat Chaudhary clearly has fallen by the wayside because he got a bump up in the middle in April. April. And from then on, he's steadily fallen. All of this comes at the back of charges of corruption against Samrat Chaudhary. This also strangely comes at the back of the 1 crore households that have got the 10,000 rupees direct cash transfers. Have we seen a significant bump after that from August to October where Nitish or maybe Samrat Chaudhary or Chirag Paswan's numbers are concerned? Because it's coming from the NDA camp, at least where the preferred choice of CM is concerned. Right. That is not quite translating. But Tejashwi's numbers have been fixed, Rajdeep. This has been...
But remember, those numbers also more or less parallel what the vote bank of the Mahagathbandhan is.
MY vote bank.
First reactions, Amitabh Tiwari, since you do number crunching, are you surprised with the fact that Prashant Kishor scores on a direct open-ended question, who do you want as chief minister? Is he crystallizing all those who are frustrated with the duopoly of Bihar politics?
You can say, at least in the CM terms, he is crystallizing people who want a change from these two parties, let's say, which is RJD and JDU, which have been ruling for the past 35 years. Does this translate into votes? It's very, very difficult to say. And I would say it would not translate into this much votes in terms of vote share, because the CM ratings is not the only criteria for a voter when he or she goes out to vote. Only around 15% people are voting in the name of the CM face. So this would translate into perhaps 3% vote share for Jan Suraaj only on the CM. What is interesting to see is that when you compare with 2020, the ratings of Nitish Kumar has almost halved. Tejashwi Yadav's ratings has also fallen, I think, marginally. But all of these gains are being pocketed by Prashant Kishor. So the decline in the popularity of Nitish is not being captured by Tejashwi Yadav. It's being captured by a third phase.
Right.
And even the past 5-6 months, whatever Prashant Kishor is gaining, 9%, is again largely at the expense of Tejashwi and Nitish Kumar.
Interesting. The question, of course, is whether this can translate into votes for a party.
Yes.
But Manisha Priyam, your quick comment, do you believe that Bihar is at all presidential in any form where people are choosing kaun banega Mukhyamantri, or are they saying kaun banega mera MLA?
So I'll give a long comment. This was clearly a chemistry question. You took it to the math class. Let me tell you that since 1995, the Bihari has been feasting on the chehre ki rajniti. Lalu was Garibo ka Masiha and Samajik Nyay, etc. Then came Susashan Babu. And when Narendra Modi came, I remember the historic campaigns where everyone said, Asman mein namo, zameen pe sumo. That Sushil Modi no longer there, but Nitish continued as Susashan Babu. Bihar mein bahar hai, phir se Nitish Kumar hai. Now suddenly, this poll of yours tells us that the people are still voting when you put them the chief ministerial face. They have a frenzy about it. But we are saying the NDA today is somewhat leaderless, with Nitish almost in the sunset days of a fine political career. And that's what you see here. Both deputy chief ministers, Samrat Chaudhary, clearly Prashant Kishor has been able to put in the mat, and Vijay Sinha, being a Bhumihar, cannot be the NDA's chief ministerial candidate. So faceless on one side, the Bihari looking for a chehre ki rajniti. I think that's the most poignant chemistry question, literature question before the Bihari voter. I'm sure you will take it to the mathematics.
Okay, let's take chehre ki rajniti, and I want to get each politician to respond now. I want to start with you, Guru Prakash Paswan, because as a national spokesperson of okay, we'll come to Guru Prakash in a moment. Let's go to Rajiv Ranjan. Rajiv Ranjan, these numbers, do they trouble you? Ki Tejashwi's popularity is twice, उनकी तो 36% है, आपके नेता की 15% है. समझ लीजिए कि बाकी भी वोट्स ऐड हो जाए एनडीए के, वो भी थोड़े तेजस्वी के पीछे हैं. एक जमाने में नीतीश कुमार बिहार के नेता नंबर 1 थे. आज भी कहा जाता है कोई सरकार उनके बगैर नहीं बन सकती, लेकिन उनकी खुद की लोकप्रियता थोड़ी तो घटी है. ये तो आप मानोगे 20 साल बाद?
नहीं, उनकी लोकप्रियता में कोई कमी नहीं आई है. और आपके सर्वे, मैं यशवंत देशमुख और दोनों को मैं सुन रहा था, अमिताभ तिवारी जी को भी मैंने सुना, मनीषा प्रियम जी को भी सुना. बिहार एक बार फिर इनके विश्लेषण को खारिज करेगा। और इसकी वजह है, अभी एक सर्वे 2 दिन पहले एक नेशनल चैनल ने दिखाया और उसमें पॉपुलैरिटी रेटिंग में नीतीश कुमार 42% थे। इसलिए ये सर्वेज को लेकर इंडिया टुडे का खुद का एक्सपीरियंस एक्सिस को लेकर के क्या है, उन्होंने 400 सीट्स पर जीतने की बात कही।
सर 42% हो सकता है अगर आप केवल नीतीश,
देखिए,
अगर आप केवल नीतीश कुमार और तेजस्वी की बात करें, लेकिन
क्या
फिर
कहा,
भी
राजदीप
जी
हम तो, राजदीप जी आप देश के सबसे बेहतरीन पत्रकारों में से एक हैं, लेकिन एक बात समझ लीजिए, बिहार को समझना बेहद जरूरी है। बिहार की जनता एंटी इनकम्बेंसी जैसे जो ये गढ़े हुए तर्क हैं इसको नहीं मानती है। यहाँ प्रो इनकम्बेंसी की लहर है और ये सच है कि आज भी बिहार की राजनीति में 1 से 10 पर नीतीश कुमार हैं। नीतीश कुमार अप्रासंगिक हो ही नहीं सकते हैं, फेसलेस अलायंस का सवाल नहीं उठता है।
अगर 1 से 10 पे नीतीश कुमार हैं तो एक रैली तो एड्रेस करनी बनती है फिर।
ओके, लेट मी आल्सो ब्रिंग इन कंचना यादव।
रैली कर रहे हैं,
देखिए
वो लगातार जनता के साथ जिलों में संवाद कर रहे हैं और मीडिया की टीम्स हर जगह होती हैं, उनके विजुअल्स हर जगह चल रहे हैं, वो लगातार धारा प्रवाह घंटों बात कर रहे हैं, लगातार बड़े फैसले ले रहे हैं, परियोजनाओं के शिलान्यास से लेकर लोकार्पण और जो कुछ बिहार में विकास के काम हुए हैं उनका लगातार मुआयना कर रहे हैं। और जो बिहार का ये
सर, मैं आपको 1 मिनट रोक रहा हूं सर, 1 मिनट सर, आप मुझे 1 मिनट रोक रहा हूं, मैं 1 मिनट रोक रहा हूं। नीतीश कुमार 9 बार मुख्यमंत्री रहे, 9 टाइम चीफ मिनिस्टर, दैट्स प्रीटी इंप्रेसिव इन एनी स्टेट ऑफ द कंट्री। बट कंचना यादव, spokesperson RJD, your first reaction, because Prashant Kishor, I think the important takeaway is that those who are frustrated, angry with Nitish Kumar, गुस्सा है उनसे, they are not turning naturally to Tejashwi Yadav. A large number of them are turning to Prashant Kishor. He may well be cutting the anti-incumbency vote. He may not win seats, but he's cutting your vote.
Thank you, Rajdeep ji. I think when I will start questioning this opinion poll, and my opponent, of course, Jadyu BJP, and the person who has conducted this opinion poll will immediately argue that we are rejecting this opinion poll because this is not in our favor. But the truth is, with my limited knowledge of sample survey or methodology, I have the right to ask this question: that was this survey proportionate? The 10% of Bihar's rural population and 90% of Bihar's 10% of Bihar's urban population and 90% of Bihar's rural population, and the demographics like the age group wise and caste wise and gender wise, etc. And if it is not, sorry, I don't believe in this survey. And
let me ask that to Yashwant Deshmukh. Yashwant Deshmukh, very important point made by Kanchana Yadav. One thing to do a survey with 2005, a catty poll over telephone, but as Kanchana is saying, in a state with a large rural population, has your survey actually measured does it approximate the demographics of Bihar in terms of gender, in terms of geography, yes or no? Otherwise, we are misleading the viewers.
The short answer is yes. Absolutely yes. We do it on a daily basis. It is not just 1,000 or 2,000. We do it 1,000 every day. So when we tell you a trend line, it is like 30,000 respondents in the last 30 days. You know, you are picking up.
Is it both rural and urban? Is it both rural and urban?
Rajdeep, it is more than 80% rural. More than 80% rural. It is absolutely representative. It's absolutely representative. That's why. I mean, she asked a legit methodological question. I appreciate that, and I am answering yes. It is representative.
Okay, Kanchana, you want to respond now? Is it a fact? Is it a fact that the younger voter in particular is attracted to Prashant Kishor at the moment because he's a new factor? I'm not saying it will translate into seats, but he may well be taking some of your votes.
No, that's not right. And so please show your all methodology, survey methodology on your screen, that how much population from rural and how much sample survey from the urban population. And thank you. But keep this survey, let's keep this survey aside. This 2025 state assembly election is a fight against the establishment. When I say against the establishment, Rajdeep ji, that means this 20 years of the NDA government in the Bihar and the 11 years of this double engine ki sarkar, they have have controlled in every institutions, like whether it's ED, CBI, whether it's police, whether it's bureaucracy, whether it's Election Commission of India, and unfortunately media as well. Because since the election has been announced, and every big media houses releasing some opinion poll immediately, and so and shaping the narrative in the favor of Prashant Kishor and shaping the narrative in the
Okay,
favor
let
of.
me,
But
let me ask you this, Maria.
Kanjana,
Maria, let me ask you this. Okay.
At the ground, Rajdeep,
Okay,
that's not true.
Okay, you're accusing the media of shaping a narrative in favor of Prashant Kishor. You answer this, Maria, and Preeti, feel free to join in because you've also been traveling with Prashant Kishor.
No, I've not been traveling with
There is a
Prashant
belief that Prashant Kishor's narrative is, because there is a curiosity about him, because there is a newness about him, therefore the Delhi-based media or Noida-based media is obsessed with Prashant Kishor. What's the truth? Is the truth that Prashant Kishor is actually polling, you believe, as much as the opinion pollsters are showing, or it is just there is a bit of a buzz around him, therefore his numbers are high?
Rajdeep, there is buzz around him. There is also sincerity in the manner in which Prashant Kishor has approached Bihar politics. In the last 3 years, he has been on ground, has conducted a Pad Yatra. So he has got popularity. I'm not ruling that out. But I would like to tell Kanchana one thing. Kanchana, look at the number. Tejashwi is still the preferred choice for the Chief Minister's post. 36.2, twice as high as Nitish Kumar. So he's seen as the challenger even today. Prashant Kishor is still the dark horse.
No, but Maria, just with one point.
Yes.
But with one rider.
No, if you,
with one rider.
if you combine
with one
the
rider,
NDA.
last time the Mahagathbandhan got about 37% of the vote.
That's right.
Tejashwi is roughly paralleling to what
exactly
the Mahagathbandhan gets.
Absolutely.
He needs to cross 40, 45 if this is a presidential style election. We don't know that.
But
I want to
Rajdeep, can I
come to
make
Guru
that-
Prakash Paswan
Yes.
for a moment. National spokesperson BJP, Guru Prakash Paswan, I don't recall the last state, certainly in North India, where none of the BJP stalwarts or candidates who could be potential chief ministers even cross 10%. Samrat Chaudhary is actually now down to 7.8%. Do you concede that this is a big challenge for BJP because this is the one North Indian state which has never thrown a BJP chief minister? You are leaderless. Aapka koi leader nahi hai. That's been a big challenge for you, especially a leader who can actually be called a mass leader.
No, Rajdeep ji, I think I would slightly disagree with what you were saying here. In fact, I was in a previous show in your Aaj Tak channel and I was looking at the sample survey. I have a lot of respect for Yashan Deshmukh ji, but the survey size and the sample size was hardly 2,500. In a state with a population of about 14 CR, a sample survey with 2,500, I think you have every right, and I'm not at all doubting the authenticity and the sincerity of the survey. But as far as your question is concerned, let me make this very clear. Bihar under Mr. Nitish Kumar, NDA has been in 1995. Nitish Kumar ji has been with the NDA since 1995. It was Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji who proposed the name of Nitish Kumar ji as the face of the NDA. As far as the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned, we have absolutely no lack of leadership. We have absolutely no dearth of leadership. You can go and check with any district, any mandal.
Guru, who is a
Sushil
leader
Modi ji was there.
for BJP in
Late
Bihar?
Sushil Modi ji.
Sushil Modi ji, yes.
Modi ji.
He served
Sushil
as
Modi ji
Nitish
was there.
Kumar's deputy for close to 15 years. So that's all right.
and
After Sushil Modi, there is a huge vacuum.
No. That is your point of view, Maria. Let me make this very clear. We have
Yes.
a galaxy of leadership in the form
Right.
of Union Minister of State for Home Affairs, Mr. Nityanand Rai. We have 2 deputy chief ministers. We have Giriraj Singh. We have senior parliamentarians like Ravi Shankar Prasad ji, Rajiv Pratap Rudy.
Right.
We are not at all leaderless.
Yeah, but none of them can match the popularity. None of them are anywhere close to the popularity of the other leaders, and therefore Prashant Kishor scoring so high is surprising. But yes, you wanted to make a point.
First point, I was not traveling with Prashant Kishor, Rajdeep. I
You
just went
interviewed him.
like a journalist, went there to do an interview and I came right back. But with what you say, that who is Prashant Kishor? Other than now being a Bihar ka beta, as he's projecting himself to be, he's a master political strategist. Doesn't he not quote the media? Of course he quotes the media. Who's given the maximum number of interviews? It has been Prashant Kishor. Prashant Kishor knows how to set the narrative. He's done it for multiple political parties, and I think other than the JDU, every political party is here right now that he's done it for. But having said that, Rajdeep, Prashant Kishor, is he tracking with the youth? He's saying the right things. What is Prashant Kishor? He's touched the raw nerve of a true Bihari, something I'm sure even Maria will agree, where he speaks of kuposhan, he talks about malnutrition, he talks about migration, he talks about corruption. What does he... If you look at his manifesto, what does he say? When I come to power, I will do Bhu Sudhar. It's huge. Because 70% of Bihar doesn't own the kind of land that the other 30% owns. So he's talking about the issues which are touching a chord. Will he translate into votes? Let's hark back to that 11% he got during the by-polls. But Amitabh Tiwari will be perfect example to come in and tell you, in that 11% he took, 80% of the harm that he did was to the Mahagathbandhan. In that 11%. Will his party track at the same level that Prashant Kishor is tracking? Yashwant will tell you, we've been tracking the Jan Suraaj for the last 10 months, Yashwant. And one thing is clear, Jan Suraaj always falls way short, way behind on the kind of the popularity tracker that we have for Prashant Kishor.